to me. Oh, yeah. Woo. Come with your heart in your hands, because my love is guaranteed. I forgot the rest of the song though. You got to show me love. Huh?
You just gonna skip a whole part?
I did. I forgot the whole song. Come with your heart.
You just said that?
Yeah. Did I say it backwards?
I think so.
Oh yeah. Come with your heart in your hand, because my love is guaranteed.
So baby, I think that goes into the chorus right then. Yeah.
You got to show me love. Words are so easy to say. Oh, you've got to show me love. It's house time. I hope niggas is ready. And I want niggas to know, you know what? I'm starting the show too early. Sweetheart, let's get it popping. Uh-oh, she wasn't ready. This side or this side? What you think?
That side.
This side?
No, the other side.
The other side?
Yeah.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Who Wake and Make Will You Be Mo? Where in the world is BeMo San Diego? That's how I feel right now. Yeah. This is your salute. Maybe I'll do like Ray J, and throughout the episode, the whole thing would just get bigger and bigger until I'm just completely faced. Welcome back to your Solution Baked podcast. This is an opportunity for you to listen in on the new blueprints of what blackness is, what blackness could be, and what blackness should be. I am your culture analyst and host for this morning. The name is BeMo. I want you to say good morning to the syncopated rhythm that is the complicated lo-fi beat in my heart on repetition in 4 bars. The producer extraordinaire, the lady at the house, make sure you say good morning.
All right.
Hey, sweetheart.
Good morning.
Huh?
Hi.
Is it getting more and more complex? That's what I want it to be. I want it to be full-bodied. We want to give a shout out to our sponsors this morning. We got 3 per usual. We got our sponsors this morning. We got Get the Curators. We're going to shout out to them. Shout out to Get the Curators, I-71 shop right here in Washington, D.C. Although I'm not in Washington, D.C. That is an I-71 shop that centralizes art. This week we got gifted some beautiful strains. We did a review of pancakes, right? Mm-hmm. Pancakes on Tuesday, today, because, well, you know, maybe we'll do a Gonjole review of the other strain they gave us, which is Primates, starring Donkey Kong. Also want to shout out our good people. You know what? They ain't give me no money this week. We want to shout out the good people at the Bridge. Shout out to the Washington Former Bridge, WIBridgeDC.com or at WIBridgeDC, wherever you can find social media platforms. I know y'all niggas not even reading the Bridge. You know how I know? Because niggas don't read. And until somebody gets offended by me saying it, I'm going to assume it's true. Everybody except people in the No Name Club don't read, all right? Although I am currently reading Richard Wright's The Man Who Lived Underground. Yeah. I be wanting to tweet these niggas so bad. Come on! Right, son! Richard Wright been dead. Richard Wright been dead 40 years.
Was he part of the Harlem Renaissance? Or?
Yes and no.
True.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
Okay.
Because he was there,
right?
But he wasn't there.
Right. He wasn't like a main.
He wasn't a main character.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Maybe he was still a young boy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe he was old. I don't know. I gotta do some more study. We shouted out the sponsors. As always, if you want to donate to the show or become a Patreonite, we really appreciate that. Go to BeMoAuthentic.com/DaRent, DARENT. If you want to put a little something on the rent, we could use a little something. We can use a couple dollars. Or if you want to become a Patreonite, that's $10 a month for some exclusive content, and I get to shout you out on some specific episodes and content that we got coming up. So we really appreciate that. I did all the ads. I did everybody. I did us. Oh, and then lastly, this week's episodes are being a special brought to you by our partners. We see their music video at the end of the week, but we just want to give them a special shout out. Let's see what Yaj got to say about Alt and Delete 2. Don't play like that. Don't play like that.
Right now.
Yeah.
Don't play like that. Don't play like that. I'll kiss you on the mouth. Show you what it's all about. Coming straight from PG County. Yeah. I forgot what I said.
Don't play like that. I kiss you in the mouth. Good morning to all the Wake and Bake with People Nights. I heard Geronimo is on the line. We got Radwa. That's a new one. Radwa.
Malik, Sav.
Malik, Sav.
Hey.
I heard Sav is in Baltimore. Wait a minute.
Hey.
Can I? If I feel like if I stick my hand out the window, I might be able to feel the essence. The essence of Naima. Who else we say?
Sav, Yaj, Akila,
Akila.
Danny.
Danny. What's up? What's up?
Universal Steph.
Universal Steph.
Drew.
What up, Drew? What up, baby? What up, baby?
Yeah.
Drew actually watched one of your I watched one of your Mario level videos the other day. I enjoy the shit, man. I have a good time. I have a good time. The lady in the house and I, to not be gamers, we do watch a lot of gaming content. So it is what it is. So this morning on Who Wake and Make We It Be, we got 3 interesting topics we want to talk to you about. We want to talk to you about, of course, it's Thursday. I know this is the first Thursday we've had in June, or second. Yeah, that's all right though. It's all right though. We trying. Maybe because we just haven't been inspired by the Paul Robeson Negro of the Week. We have a new Paul Robeson Negro of the Week, and some of them might not be Negroes. We have a special conversation we want to talk to you about House. We want to continue. I believe there is a connection of liberation between house music and these Hoochie Daddy Sharps, but we'll get to that. But first up, we want to talk about Lizzo.
Okay.
Now, Lady of the House, I apologize. I apologize. I've had to unfollow Lizzo. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much.
Okay.
But she can be herself, though. Right? So Lizzo puts out a new song. I don't even know what the name of the song is. I didn't do that much research. I just saw the uproar around the song. Lizzo puts out a new song. In the song, she uses the word spaz.
Okay.
Upon which she hears a response from the ableist community, or from the disabled community. How do you say that? I guess the disabled community, or the not handicapped community. The who?
Isn't it like interabled?
Interabled?
Did I just make that up? I don't know. I feel like I've heard
I don't
that
know.
before. Oh,
The people who are offended by ableist jokes.
Right.
She hears from that community, right? And they tell her, hey, could you not use the word spaz in the song? You know, it's offensive. We find that to be a slur. And it's just, you know what I'm saying, it's not accurate to what you're actually speaking about.
Differently abled.
Differently abled. Thank you. Who said that?
Rodwa and Drew.
Radwa! The differently able community. She heard from the differently able community, and they asked her to maybe not use that word going forward. So Lizzo did the very revolutionary new blueprint thing. She removed the old song, changed the word, and then put the song back out again.
Okay.
And would you believe, yes you would, because you're the lady of the house, would you believe that niggas had an attitude about it?
Isn't that what they wanted?
Hit the joint. I think it's just a tweet and response.
Let me provide you some
hit the
context.
joint.
So I am an actual spaz. Like, that is actually what I'm diagnosed with. I am diagnosed with spastic diplegic cerebral palsy, meaning spasms are a part of my diagnosis. I spasm sometimes so bad that I get nauseous and vomit. I am in so much pain that I can't sleep if I'm in a really bad spasm. I have watched on multiple occasions without my will or without my brain signaling it to, my leg twist out of place within its socket and stay there for hours because of a spasm. So many people use diagnoses as shorthands for behavior that is out of place, or wild, or incomprehensible. Words like lame, stupid, or dumb all used to refer to disabled people. And we use them as shorthand for behaviors of people that we don't like. I actually have no problem with people calling themselves a spaz. If they're going to do it, then do it right. Do the painsomnia, the vomiting, the crying out. Oh, and white people criticize without being racist.
Is on the left. I appreciate this creator actually this differently abled, as I said it right? Mm-hmm. This differently abled creator putting into context what this means. My freaky phone line sister Jasmine has MS, and from time to time she does post her spasms on Instagram. That shit do not look pretty, bro. You heard what the young lady say? If you gon' spaz, do it right. Yeah. Have your muscles twist out, have your bones twist out of their socket, and stay there for hours. If you're gonna do it right, I appreciate the little sass in there too. Yeah. She ain't sound sassy, but she put a little sass in there. I appreciate that. Read that tweet right there.
Lizzo let white people bully her out of using African American vernacular English in her song. Black people have been using quote unquote spaz for decades, and it has nothing to do with making fun of disabled people. This is why we need to gatekeep. Shit is getting out of hand.
So a couple of inaccuracies about the situation. If you find this young man's tweet, if you wanted to, I didn't put the young man on there, but if you find this young man's tweet, your lady found the realization that spaz is not of Ebonics, spaz is not of African American vernacular English, right. And even if it was, we don't do blueprints.
Right.
So anything that was part of the lexicon, anything that was part of the diction and the vernacular that turns out to be harmful towards the community, we X that shit out. Right. We're not going to stand on the tradition of, oh, niggas been using the wrong word. Right. We going to keep using the wrong word. Because you know what? We like ignorance. This is my proud nigga stance now. We on ignorance, bro. That's what the fuck we want. So seeing that tweet, hearing that young lady, seeing Lizzo's revolutionary action, she might have been the Paul Robeson Negro of the Week if it wasn't for the pop music. Which pop is black. We'll get to that later on in the conversation. Saw another response that said everybody just want their own N-word. Meaning that this community has found a word that's happening within popular music, and in order, I guess this person's grand theory is, in order to gain relevancy and popularity within the grand ethos of the internet, this community decided to be offended by this word and therefore attacked Lizzo's song. That don't even make no sense.
Right.
But if we're following their logic, if we're following this person's logic of everybody wants their own N-word, in which I've heard you niggas out there use this type of language before. Everybody want to be offended. Everybody want to be black. Everybody want to be oppressed. And which my question to you is, why do we?
I don't think we do.
I mean, the way niggas stand on this shit, we had a conversation. I almost posted it before we came on, but we had a conversation about why we keep using the N-word. Yeah. We still fleshing that out. We might get to that in season 4. But why is the response to a community being offended by slurs in language? Everybody wants to be oppressed. Everybody want to be black.
Right.
I must ask the question that we've been asking all of season 3, which strangely enough, Lizzo and her flute twerking body have somehow reminded me of this, is if black is just a response to trauma, if black is the representation of oppression, do we still want to be that? If Elon Musk is our African American brother and black is a response to trauma, we are a nameless people with a failed mission and objective. I'm so confused. Put up the second joint. So, since we are in this era of calling people by their name, calling people about what they want to be called, and respecting the language that has been normalized to marginalize these people, eradicating that language within our society. I don't know if you can read all this, but I just wanted to show the people the format.
Yeah.
We've seen this before. We've seen this as it comes to, interesting enough, the most interesting one I saw was actually from PETA. PETA said we have to eliminate language that is inherently violent to animals. Now, I ever since Michael Vick, I ain't never had no love for PETA, and I never will. But they made a good point. Why do you say we killing two birds with one stone?
That's a good point.
Why are you pulling a rabbit out the hat? Why is you lucky as a rabbit's foot, or whatever these other terms that seem to be normalizing the violence that we do towards animals? Don't love PETA, but I understand what they're saying. Same thing with the ableist community. When we call somebody stupid and retarded, these are definitions from the differently able community applied to characteristics that are outside their potential use. So I believe the first, I don't know if you can read the first one. I think the first one is stupid and retarded, but people really mean
frustrating,
annoying,
obnoxious. I think it says irritating. Yeah.
These are two different things.
Right.
But you know what? The ableist community just reminded me.
What's up?
Some of y'all don't got the range. Some of y'all don't got enough words in your personal dictionary that you don't even know how to properly disrespect a nigga without disrespecting an entirely different community. So I just wanted to, and this morning on Al Gore's internet, I just wanted to thank Lizzo for being brave and bold. Also I feel like because of the internet, I don't know if this would have been possible in 2010.
No.
I don't know if Lizzo could have put out a song, retracted that song, and then put out a new song without it costing her millions of dollars.
I don't even think this was a conversation 10 years ago.
Oh, I'm not even talking about that part.
Okay.
I'm even talking about the ability to edit a song. Right. This would have cost her millions of dollars to do so.
Right.
In which it harkens me back to the conversation we had about Tuesday about difficulty. Now, there have been songs out there that have been disrespectful towards certain genres, and individuals have hidden behind difficulty and convenience in order to avoid accountability for their actions.
Right.
Lizzo has just put out the new blueprint, y'all. If you've offended a community and that community is valid within their offensiveness, looks like you need to change that song up, player. As I talk to the comedians, you an artist, but like, I think gone are the days where you can hide behind your profession as a reason why you have crossed somebody's barriers of respect.
Right. We've already seen that with Chris Rock.
Yeah, we see it.
Right.
It's a new era.
Yeah.
Post-slap.
Right.
Thanks, Will. We got any comments? Or do you have any comments? What are your thoughts? Is Lizzo a punk-ass nigga?
No.
For changing her shit
I
up?
feel like she did the right thing, but I'm just confused as to why people are still upset. Like, this is what we want, right? The acknowledgement that, not necessarily that you did something wrong, but you either offended somebody or
is this what we want? Right. See, I told you I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I'm turning 33. And so sometimes when people dangle solutions in my face, I'm like, have we actually solved the problem? Because if you were like in negotiations, if we in negotiations and I'm like, oh, I want $3 million, and you're like, all right, cool. Shit. I ain't asked for enough.
right.
So if I'm like, oh, we want to be called by a name, and the oppressor's like, all right, cool. Wait a minute. Hold up.
Right.
Hold on. What you oppressing? Wait a minute. Did they give up?
Right.
Have the oppressors retired? I don't know.
Hell no. They're not going down without a fight. Hell no.
And you say, so then you're also saying that the fight is not just conversation over spaz. We got any comments?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, Drew said, oh, snap, shameless plug, talking about you watching.
Oh, yeah, Big Drew Gaming, baby.
Yeah. Akila said, Grand Rising, BeMo, Lady of the House and BeMo Nights, happy Thursday. Hey. Drew said, what Lizzo do now? That was before. Geronimo said, we can't say spaz anymore with the shrug emoji. Yeah. Differently abled. Drew said, niggas had attitude, or the people that originally complained had attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Geronimo says, there's a long list of slang words that fall onto this list. Right.
Yeah. So what that mean?
Well, we don't say them anymore, right?
I mean, there was a certain F word that was very common in the community. Cut that shit out. Are you saying that the LGBT community deserves more respect than a differently able community?
Ooh. Drew said, I don't think people want to be oppressed. They just either want to complain or silence another group.
Okay. That's fair.
Sympathy.
That's fair.
Geronimo says, how many people are willing to, quote unquote, correct those of us who aren't as, quote unquote, informed about what's considered offensive to marginalized communities?
Well, we have a show every Tuesday and Thursday. Welcome. I think there's 2 people right here. I think, Geronimo, if you bold enough, that's 3 people right there. I think, what are we afraid of?
Oh, he said particularly offline and in person.
What are we afraid of in correcting these people?
Is it backlash? Is it?
From who? Again, I'm getting old. Maybe the importance of having just random people around you is not important to me anymore. Yeah. But like, if I'm standing on the pinnacles of respect and I'm trying to respect the community, I'm trying to affect an environment around me that's also respecting the community, and then you just refuse to change your language, why we? Well, right. Yeah. It's like when people, it's like when you send an email and somebody responds to the email and they spell your name wrong, but your name was in the email. Right. You got to capitalize that M, by the way. Just got to do that. We have a whole song about it. Capitalize that M. Got any more comments before we go to the break?
Aquila says that's an extensive list of change. Drew says this is more an attack on cancel culture than Lizzo. The only people making noise are people that are saying offensive things.
That's fair.
Geronimo says, here's the thing. A kind, empathetic society isn't appealing to a world that's been socialized to see drama, chaos, etc. as appealing. Facts. Donovan says, ooh.
Don't know that's true, though. Don't know if that's true, Geronimo.
I agree.
Well, here's why I'm beginning to disagree. I'm watching sports media.
Okay.
They are having that fight on air.
Mm-hmm. The drama and the chaos.
The drama and chaos versus empathetic and skill-based.
Being Draymond.
Being like new media versus old media. Okay. That is happening in sports media right now.
Yeah.
Players who have been exploited through these contentious, dissension-based content shows have bucked back at these shows, starting with Kwame Brown, have bucked back at these shows and have proven that basketball fans, sports fans, especially Gen Z leading into Gen Alpha, are more interested in people who are analyzing the sport, who are telling their stories from a perspective that is true and honest, and it is not yelling and degrading players. It is a very obvious thing that is happening on ESPN right now. I wish I had the numbers. I wish I had some rating numbers in my head, but I would absolutely guess that the most popular audience for these debate shows when it comes to sports media is millennial and older. Don't know if it's necessarily true that we have been a society that's built on contention and dissent. It's not looking like that's going to be the future, though.
That's interesting. Because I'm even thinking about like the decade or maybe 2 of reality TV and like, you know, Real Housewives, all that shit.
What Lauryn Hill say? It all falls down. I'm telling you, it all falls down.
Geronimo says, I don't think it's fear, but it can be exhaustive. I also spend a lot of time around people where, quote unquote, right speak isn't a priority. Not because they're bad people, but life is lifing hard.
Yeah, you don't have to be right. That's another thing. That's another conversation. You know what? We got to save that for another conversation. We got to save the new media versus old media. Yeah. I try not to talk about sports on the show because sports can be alienating. Not everybody is like up to like the direct situations, but maybe we'll save that conversation. I'm trying to find a way to frame it in a way that could be entertaining for many individuals, but that conversation is happening right now. That transition between an audience or the demographics perspective of what's entertaining as it pertains to dissension and disagreement is happening in front of our face right now.
Right.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. Speaking of Lauren, should we try it again? No, let's just do the Owen. Let's play Delilah by my man Owen M. Hart. Last time we played the Lauryn Hill joint, we definitely got kicked off of Instagram. So we're going to figure out a way to do that. Maybe I got to call Lauren herself and be like, hey, can I borrow that for a second? Or maybe Austin City Limits will let me fuck with it. Anyway, we're going to play Delilah by Owen M. Hart. We'll be right back with more Awake and Make We Be, including the Paul Robeson Negro of the Week. You do not want to miss this. We'll be right back with more Yeah.
Okay.
Delilah says to us, children of Samson, love me. Delilah says, I love those who love me, so learn how to love me. Delilah says, do as I say. Delilah says, doing what I say equals loving me, which equals me loving you. So if you truly, truly want me, then do this. Delilah says, cut it. This is no place for your hair or the God that resides inside of it. Side with me, Delilah says, pick me and not your hair. Delilah says the fruits of her ripe labor are at the tips of your fingers. Just cut off the history weighing you down. Delilah says it is not about where you came from. It is about where you are going. Delilah says she can fix your past. All of it was a mistake. Delilah says fix your mistakes. Delilah says you do not deserve her love until you fit the description, until the God in you fits the description. The God in your kinks is unprofessional. Delilah says that the God in your locks is simply too dreadful for the beauty of the workplace, for the beauty of her. Delilah says side with her. She'll give you all the power the God in you used to have. Untwist the God on your scalp. Straighten out your head and what sits on top of it. We were told to stay woke. Delilah reminds us this is still no place for our naps. She says choose and be reminded that the God on you is so feared it can only be handled in small doses or small changes. Permit or get rid of it permanently. Delilah will Tower of Babel your high top until it fades out of translation, until it tumbles down like Jericho simply by her shouting your name. When you forget how strong you was made to be in the first place, she will deny the notion that your afro is your affirmation of faith. How it soaks up holy water so fast it's as if it was dying of thirst. She tells us it is because it is possessed. We tell her no, the water is simply returning back to its root. She will deny the denial that kings and queens drank from runs amongst the desert of knots that is your hair. Each strand unapologetically raising up to heaven as if to say, God, we are still here. Amongst everything she tried to tell us, we are still here, still with beautiful hair. God, you anointed our heads with olive oil. Our cups have overflown indeed. She will make a forest fire of chemicals, burn the very nature that gives your scalp oxygen. She will detox the holy out of you, make you call your hair heresy, make you fear worth through those that want your features but not your struggle. She will lie. She will tell you that your hair is an exorcism waiting to happen, is a house full of demons that must be baptized in a river of product sins that must be cleansed with a set of clippers and even a pair of Holy Marys. She will leave you detesting the very fabric of your texture. She will tell you that you are not pretty enough to be with her. You are not professional enough to eat with her. You are not you enough for anything that she has to offer. Delilah says abandon your hair. She says abandon your heritage. Delilah says abandon your God. He cannot exist in hair. And we look at her and say, he already exists in our hair regardless.
It look nice. Welcome back to Who Wake It Bake Will It Be? Mo, yeah. We got Iz on the line. What up, Iz? What up, baby?
Hey.
All right, y'all. It's time for a Ganjlier review. This morning we are smoking Primates. I always try to do this, but it never works out. We're smoking Primates by. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Hey, we're smoking Primates by Gifted Curators. Again, Gifted Curators, I-71 shop, art-centric. The thing that I love about Gifted Curators, if you go follow them right now at gifted.curators.dc, is that they have their own rendition of these marijuana strains, and then they put them into like a compilation thing. So we have a bucket hat that has all the strains on it. This morning we have a, what is this, graffiti-inspired logo of Primates. I'm gonna let the lady of the house smell the jar, I suppose, because we ain't definitely got no weed in there. It's like 2 crumbs of weed in there. Let the lady of the house smell the jar. We're gonna give this a light, and then we'll give this a good Ganjlier review. This Primates is of the premium strands of Gifted Curators, so this is one of the top situations. Oh, and look, at Gifted Curators right now, they got Iverson by Viola right now. So I know there's not a lot of like weed connoisseurs on here, but Allen Iverson released his own strain of weed through there's another basketball player who owns basically like a cookies type situation. Yeah. Al Harrington, that's his name. Al Harrington's his company is called Viola, and Viola. They have a strain with Allen Iverson right now. I actually had a chance to hit a dog walker at the National Cannabis Fest. Yeah. It's up there. Yeah.
Why doesn't KD have a strain?
It's coming. I think because he's an active player.
True.
And technically, ingesting marijuana as an NBA player is illegal still. It's a banned substance.
But he already admitted it.
Yeah, but like they test you at a certain time. So if you know when the test's coming in, it's cool. Yeah. So that's why he don't have a strain. But we know that KD is our favorite pot smoking player. He started off as a tray 5 and then went to a 7. Come on, KD. Come on, baby. We know what it is. 14, the next number. We know what it is.
Right. Drew says one of these days I'm going to make it to California to get Jaleel White's strain of Purple Urkel.
Jaleel has his own joint?
That's popping.
That is popping. Purple Urkel? That's popping. That's popping. And I'm glad our child stars have a medium to flotate, to rotate, to gravitate towards. Yeah. Because, like, if not, what would that nigga be doing? What would Urkel be doing now?
I was about to.
It's a sad story. We've seen the story before. We've seen niggas who had that one part, and then they exploited that part for the rest of their life, and then they died as Urkel. Hopefully he'll die a weed man. All right, let's get to a
He said you didn't know about Jaleel White's weed business?
No. We need a sponsorship. Right. We right on time.
I used to love Jaleel White.
Love him. What's the smell? What's the smell smelling like, sweetheart?
I'm actually getting kind of earthy today.
Earth, thank goodness. We done had so many fruits.
Yeah. I'm feeling. William Hardaway said, "What up, King?"
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
Good morning.
YouTube. Yeah. Huh? YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? While I'm lighting this blunt, I need everybody to do me a favor. I need you to like, subscribe, retweet, whatever, share. Hit the buttons on Instagram. We got to change the algorithm up, okay? Because see, my man, what's my man's name?
William Hardaway.
I don't know William Hardaway. If I do know you, I'm sorry.
And there was somebody from Nepal the other day.
Right. We got to get this algorithm up, okay? We got 89 subscribers. And I'm very sure all 89 of the people are Wicked Bake with BeMo Nights. And I have no problem with that. We need some strangers, y'all. We need some strangers.
But yeah, that's
As I'm lighting it, it is giving me earth tones as I'm burning it. We are. Go ahead.
Oh, good.
What you got?
Say like cedar, maybe.
Yeah, earth and cedar.
Yeah.
Like ground.
Right.
It smells like the actual tree of cedar. Okay, let's see what we. Hold on. I ain't got no water. Last time I smoked a blunt and I had no water. It tastes like beef jerky. Lady of the house look at me like I'm goddamn crazy. All right, here we go. Lady of the house got her t-shirt with no panties on. Hey, good morning. Oh, I got some panties on. We're giving it a light. Taking a second. Good old Ganjlier review. And then we're going to get to what's up?
Drew said he did a whole commercial with Snoop Dogg. He dressed as Steve Urkel to smoke weed with Snoop and promote his brand. I miss this.
That's a good promotion.
It is. Intellectual Dialect said Jaleel weed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. What happens when you have a... Oh, yes. Oh, we've had so many sweet weeds lately.
Yeah, you really taste the earthiness.
You do.
Yeah.
We've had so many sweet weed lately. I've kind of gotten like a sweet headache from all the sweet marijuana that we've been smoking. This is not sweet. This is a grown man's, grown woman's, grown person's marijuana. Sometimes when they get the sweet weed, I feel like it's like candy apple cigarettes.
Yeah.
Like, are they trying to get children to smoke? They want the young folks to smoke. We're the grown people with the grown weeds. This is one of them.
Not the bourbon.
We need the bourbon. I'm over this plastic bottle vodka weed.
Right.
Cherry lemonade. What you say?
These coolers.
Yeah, these wine coolers is weed, man. Give me a strain. Shit, it's supposed to come from the earth.
Marcus said, taste the earth.
Goodness gracious. Every time I damn turn around smoking some grapes and cherries and shit, we appreciate it. You know what I mean? We appreciate it, but man, this is a grown man weed.
Yeah.
Woo! Woo! Put some her on your chest.
It's good. It's smooth.
It is smooth. It's not Obama run smooth, but it's still smooth.
It's also pretty light. Like, it doesn't feel dense and
Mm-hmm. It don't feel dense and heavy. I think this is a pure hybrid.
Okay.
50-50. As you see, it's got a good smoke to it, though. It's got a good...
Y'all said pinnacle weed?
Pinnacle weed.
I forgot about pinnacle. Wow.
Pinnacle weed. What we had on Tuesday? We had regular weed on Tuesday. What was it called? General weed. We had general weed on Tuesday. We got pinnacle weed today. This shit is actually pretty bomb.
Yeah.
Head on down to Get the Curators right now. Get you an eighth of primates. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna cost you some money, but you be all right. Yeah, I mean, weekend coming up. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't give us no money, you got some money. So let's get it popping.
That's why you gotta mix it with your general weed sometimes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Or get you an ounce of zip.
Yeah.
We had an ounce of zip for like, I'm sorry, ounce of zip. Wow. A zip of shake. We had a zip of shake for like a month. That's a good fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
Throw it in there.
Right.
Break it down. Still
Sometimes
gets.
if your strain too strong. Right.
Hey, throw a little shake in there. Don't be ashamed.
Right.
You be all right. It's better than that tobacco y'all smoking. I tell you that. Get off that tobacco. All right, here we go. It's time.
Not Reggie. You don't want to say y'all was smoking Reggie. Never that.
No.
No, there's a difference.
General.
Right. It was like Purple Punch or some shit.
Yes. General weed.
Right.
Not the reg.
Hell nah.
What's my name? Exactly. Exactly.
When we got Reggie before and literally put the blunt out.
Yes. Like, nah, I'm not smoking this shit, bruh.
It's not even
I'm
working.
not smoking this shit. The shit green. That's not green. This shit brown.
Right.
Not orange. Brown. All right. It's time, y'all. It's time for the Paul Robeson Negro of the Week Award. I went higher this time.
You did.
All right. So last season on season 2, we discussed, it was actually because it was in November. Actually, when I was looking for some clips, I realized we did this weird semi-half season like in November. Like we tried to come back and then I just got tired again. So anyway, we covered this in November, but November of 2021, something that was very interesting that we noticed was Dave Chappelle, after The Closer is his latest special on Netflix. The Closer is the one that's being criticized for all the transphobic jokes and transphobic comments that are in the special. Netflix employees actually walked out of Netflix because of this special, and Netflix doubled down, right? This special has been the center mark or a marquee case in the case of cancel culture, that is. So Dave Chappelle puts out The Closer, and then he goes to his alma mater high school, Duke Ellington School of Performing Arts, says he wants to donate some money, and he's going to name the new theater after himself. Theater is being built at the time. 2 students, during his announcements, they stand up and say, nah, we're not fucking with that. The rest of the student bodies stands up. Those 2 students are trans are transsexuals. I don't know their specific gender or the spectrum that they follow on under the trans spectrum, but they are 2 individuals. They did an interview in Playboy. I don't have their names. Actually, I don't know if the names have been released because they're minors. Right. But these 2 individuals stood up to Dave Chappelle, said we're not fucking with that. And so, you got the tweet up? What's the tweet say?
New. Dave Chappelle announced that he will not have his name on the Duke Ellington School of Arts. Instead, the theater will be called the Theater for Artistic Freedom and Expression. He made the decision on Friday.
So, this happens. This happened on Friday. Dave Chappelle decides to name the theater what now?
The Theater for Artistic Freedom and Expression.
And I just want to give a shout out to them 2 kids. Because if you remember the conversation that happened directly after these 2 kids came out, Dave Chappelle actually challenged the student body to raise more money than him, which would have been impossible, bring more attention to the school, which would have been impossible, or to let it go, or to not let these 2 students speak for the entire student body. And these 2 students stood on their ground and said, nah, we're not fucking with that. Yeah. I don't know these 2 students' names, but when I think about the black, which we're going to publish this book, when I think about the Black Culture Citizenships Test, one of the questions that's on there is, can you name 5 activists under the age of 18? And why is that on there? To know what black is? Because to affect this culture, there is a certain demographic of blackness throughout history that has been touching black culture, and that has been the under 18. Right. The people who have been bold enough to say, hey, I see what happened in the previous generation, and I hear you, Dave Chappelle. I actually respect the fuck out of you, Dave Chappelle. You came from nothing. You came from this school. I see you, but we not fucking with that. Right. Mom, they got opportunity to go to a better school. I want to go. But you only 6, Ruby. I don't care. I want to go. But what if it's too dangerous? I want to go. Lady, you need to get up off this bus. You can't sit in the front. I'm pregnant and I'm 15. I'm going to sit where the fuck I want to sit. Claudette, I'm going to sit right here. I'm bold. I'm standing right here. It is what it is. Fuck out my face. I'm proud of these 2 people. I'm proud of these 2 trans individuals who then transformed the energy of an entire school and then thus transformed one of the mindsets of one of the most powerful and popular entertainers currently on the planet. Dave Chappelle has stood in his transphobia direct face with grown trans people who have power, people who have money, and has not changed and has not budged an inch. 2 16-year-olds got into his head, shook him up. If you read the whole statement from Dave Chappelle, or if you hear his whole statement, he said he couldn't fathom, he couldn't live, he couldn't understand a world where his name would be on the theater and it would offend people. So he took it off. We're not going to Robert E. Lee High School no more.
Right.
It ain't the Redskins no more. Therefore, it can't be the Chappelle Theater. Click the Gerard Carmichael joint. Because we had a conversation about the new Carmichael special, and I'm a huge fan of Gerard Carmichael. Read his statement that he made to GQ. This is why niggas got to read, because this came out a couple weeks ago. Well, it came out 7 days ago, but I ain't get it yet, because I ain't read it yet.
It says, look, I get it. Everybody's got to create a boogeyman to sell tickets, but it's not true, Carmichael told GQ. Who's getting canceled for what they've said? What does that mean that people are mad on Twitter? Everybody's fine. These grown men are fine. I think a lot of times people who offer nothing truthful or meaningful about themselves, they complain about society at large and create this boogeyman. It's like, listen, that's the most urgent thing in your life. God bless you. I'm tired of hearing it. Chappelle, do you know what comes up when you Google your name, bro? That's the legacy. Your legacy is a bunch of opinions on trans shit. It's an old hill to die on.
And that's Gerard Carmichael. Right. And we said when the Carmichael, what was his roasted special? What's his name?
Right.
Rothaniel. Yeah. When Rothaniel came out, we declared that Rothaniel was the new blueprint for what comedy should be. There is a way to use yourself, to use your experiences and centralize yourself as a means of comedy without offending other people. without being destructive to other communities. And it's interesting that Gerard Carmichael calls out Dave Chappelle for the fact that we don't know you.
Right.
That's why I love beef. That's what I love when two people disagree with each other, because then I get to see the holes in each other's personalities. We don't know you, Dave Chappelle. I know Gerard Carmichael almost too much. Almost too much.
Pretty much know his whole life.
I don't know you, Dave Chappelle.
Right.
Like at all.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is this persona that you put up on stage. And as I was saying earlier, I don't think Gen Z, I don't think Gen Alpha are interested in these personas.
Right.
I've already seen in the Nielsen report that Gen Z appreciates brands who say real things. They see through the doublespeak and the bullshit talk. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I also don't think they are very invested in being right. They would rather investigate the truth rather than to assimilate to a definition that is beyond them. Oh, woo, woo! That's the future. Yeah. And they about to turn 18. Or already 18.
Mm-hmm. They in their 20s.
So the Paul Robeson nigga of the week are these two young folks. We appreciate you. Thank you for standing up to Dave Chappelle. I don't want to give no love to Dave Chappelle right now because he still ain't done the revolutionary actions. He's done the participatory action of being like, man, I see how a thing is affecting a thing, but I haven't changed my thing yet. We need you to come up off that transphobia, player. We need you to come up off of it. We need you to come up off, because as Gerard Carmichael said, that's an odd hill to die on. Right. That's a weird hill to die on. That's what you want to be Googled? What's interesting is before all this transphobia situation, you were known as one of the greatest comedians.
Right.
Now I Google your name and all comes up as transphobia and people protesting you. That ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. You got to come up off it. You got to let it go. I think you need to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Stop being a transphobe. Transphobe. We got any comments?
We're a little spicy.
Hey, we're not having no disrespect towards trans people, though. We're not having it. We're not having it. We're not having it. And here's why. Here's why we're not having it. Because before I just say declaratory statements, here's why we're not having it. It's a slippery motherfucking slope. And niggas love grease. It's a slippery motherfucking slope, the disrespect for trans people. You know who the most murdered, the most attacked people in the black demographic are? It's trans folks. Can't be pro-black if you ain't pro-trans black. Can't be, can't be, cannot be. It is impossible. That's why we're not having no disrespect to trans lives. We're not having it. We're not having it. I send you to Linese and Billy Porter. They'll read you right. Shit.
Right.
Shit. You don't want them problems. Send you to JB's. All right. All right. Real quick. Had to study a young lady for one of the clients last week. Right. YouTube creator. Her name is JB's. Yeah. Interesting thing about JB's is that JB's is she plays Grand Theft Auto, the role-playing situations. If you haven't seen this on YouTube, very entertaining stuff. Very entertaining. But she comes from an app called BeGo, B-I-G-O. Yeah. And from a group on BIGO called the Bad Boys Club. Mm-hmm. And you know what they do on the Bad Boys Club on BeGo? What's up? They roast each other. It's a lot. It's a bunch of trans women and gay men roasting each other. Okay. And when I watched the clips, it became very clear to me, this is not entertainment. They sharpening their weapons. This is training. Yeah. This is training. I want you to think about something. When a gay man reads you, it is actually frightening. It is actually frightening because they often aren't telling lies.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine a new generation of trans people used to the hate of the internet, training each other through the internet, and then being released to general content. I wish you would try JB's. Jesus Christ. What? Watch this young lady's content. Give it 10 minutes and you won't say a word. That's why ain't no trans disrespect on her channel. Cause I wish a nigga would. Right. I wish a nigga would. Try it if you want. Now remember the two-piece law. I'm applying that applies to trans life as well. If you approach me and you are threatening my life, guess what? I got the right to give you a two-piece.
Right.
If you out here systemically, look, all right. Pop. All right, we got some comments. I'm sorry. Go ahead. There will be no disrespect and trans lives in here, though.
Okay. Marcus says they hate a black man that thinks freely. The fact that the faculty let 2 students mess up their bag.
Did they mess up the bag, though? No.
Right.
Still got that theater. Still got that money. Still got that press.
Drew says...
And I want to be clear. It wasn't 2 students. It was 2 students who impacted the entire student body, right, who then impacted an entire world. That's how you do it.
Right. Drew says, do black trans people care about Dave Chappelle? Most trans people I've seen complain are white. And then Geronimo says to Drew, yes and no. Too complicated to explain here, though. That's
fine. That's what we got to wake and bake live so we can have these intersectional conversations. Right. I can't be the spokesperson. There's only 2 niggas in here with a mic.
Right.
Come on now.
Marcus says these 2 students aren't heroes. Geronimo says, did Dave still give Duke the money despite not being able to have his name on the theater?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Marcus says, if he still gave the money, he cares about expression more than those 2 kids. That's impressive.
Exactly. That's exactly the problem. That's why we're not giving no love to Dave Chappelle, because he gives more about expression rather than them 2 kids. And nobody's saying that he can't express himself. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting that when people are held accountable for their speech, the first reaction is, "What, I can't express myself?" That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you can be accountable. You can be held accountable for what you just said.
Right.
The words that you just said, especially with the platform that you have, can be directly linked to the violence that happens within our communities. And if you care about the community, then I need you to shut the fuck up on that topic. I need you to realize that maybe that topic, maybe what you're expressing is damaging. Ain't nobody raced into your gut. Ain't nobody took out your brain. Ain't nobody cut out your tongue. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. But so can I.
Right.
And if you can't stand for what you speak on, especially under criticism, I need you to stop talking. Because what you talking about? You like a 6-month baby. You just running your mouth to hear yourself talk to see if you can do it. We know you can talk. We know you can talk. What other comments we got? Because we got to get to our next topic.
Okay. Marcus says Carmichael is a simp. Geronimo says, BeMo, I'd like to know your opinion about Flame Monroe. I'm gonna holler at you later about her.
Okay.
Malik says he doesn't care about transphobia. His hill is freedom of speech. Marcus says, BeMo, who are we to tell a guy that his opinion is wrong? Freedom of speech is more important to me than what anybody thinks. Geronimo says, I think it's Bigo. I don't know.
Bigo.
Yeah, Bigo is a wild app. Also, JB's mother is also
She's
Angela Stanton King. Oh,
she is.
Oh, you did tell me that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then Geronimo says JB's gets it honest because of who her mother is.
Yep.
Marcus says rap music does more damage than anything Dave Chappelle has ever said. Let's be real here. That's all I'm at.
All right. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the comments. Okay. We definitely do got to talk about this in person, Geronimo, right? Because the last thing I wanted to talk about, what time is it? How long we been on?
54. Geronimo says, I wish more young and queer trans people had hands and could joan like JV's.
Yeah.
Right.
I do too. And who are we to tell someone that their opinion is wrong? Other opinionated people. That's who we are. one, I'm trying to escape the thought that everything has to be within the field of right and wrong, right? Because that binary thinking, as we have learned, is very much of whiteness. So then, in acknowledging that, someone says, hey, BeMo, I think Lil Nas X's music is complex and should go down as some of the greatest music of all time. I have an equal opinion that says, well, I don't think his music is complex. Here's my evidence for such. Right. He should not go down as one of the greatest musicians of all times. I can disagree. We are anyone to disagree. Again, so interesting that freedom of, like, you can always, everybody can freedom express, but like dissension and disagreement, especially intelligently and with evidence, it's also a form of freedom of speech.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what the difference between an opinion and like facts is, because you have evidence.
Right. Or at least between there's like interpretation, there is opinion, there is analysis, there are different ways that you can like perceive certain facts. That's fine. And disagreement is always all those situations. As a matter of fact, let's just get to the burning question for the road. While we have you here, though, before we get to the burning question, just want to let you know that the season finale, we are wrapping up on season 3, will be on Sunday, July 3rd, live from a new location. It will not be this location. We're going to wrap up the season. We're going to take about a 6-8 week break. Okay, we got some marketing things we want to get out. We got some clips we want to cut. We got some sponsors we want to get to. We got some live events we got to do. And then honestly, I got to teach a class too. You know what I mean? I got to teach a little music business class. Not a little music business class. I got to teach a music business class, get right with the community, get centered, and then we'll be right back. But I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, so look out for that break. It's like, oh my God, BeMo quit. I ain't quit. We'll be right back. Let's get to that burning question though. Burning question for the road. Brought to you by Sweetheart.
Okay. So we talked about Lizzo earlier.
We did talk about Lizzo.
Okay, so we've seen that she's done something like changing her song based on, I don't know, outrage or...
That's fine.
Yeah. Do you think that artists should follow suit going forward? Do you think that's, I guess, part of... Would it be Muslim prints? Like, or is it just...
You know, that's interesting. That's an interesting question. What should the precedent be going forward as it pertains to artists using offensive language?
Yeah.
You know, one of my favorite songs, and I'm sorry if I offend somebody by saying this, but one of my favorite songs is "Set It Off" by Lil Boosie. And I'm an Apple Music fan. I'm an Apple Music user. I wouldn't say fan. I'm an Apple Music user. Oh, I guess you could say I'm a fan. Anyway, I'm on Apple Music. And you know what you can't find on Apple Music? An unedited version of "Set It Off" by Lil Boosie. And as I replay some of the lyrics in my head, there are moments in the song where Lil Boosie does drop the F word, and I don't mean fuck. So someone has retroactively removed or only allowed the clean version of "Set It Off" by Lil Boosie on Apple Music.
They just like bleep it out.
They bleep out all the cuss words.
Oh, wow.
Or there is no explicit version of "Set It Off" by Lil Boosie on Apple Music. At least not the last time I checked. So, and to a certain degree, isn't it already happening?
It's true.
And I'm not saying that as a term of the internet. Wasn't Walmart already editing albums and CDs? Don't you remember that time? When artists actually, I think there was a record label that sued Walmart because they were creating clean versions of songs and not selling explicit versions of albums at all.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I remember that from my time. I think it was like, I had a clean version of, what was After Country Grammar? Nellyville. Yeah. My mom bought it from Walmart and I was so upset. And I was like, ugh, there's so many mother in there. It's like,
Wow.
So to a certain degree, like, this is already happening.
Yeah.
And again, I don't see the harm in being sensitive to intersections of people who are offended by your product. I really don't see the problem in that.
Okay.
If the disabled community is saying, hey, you know, retarded isn't what y'all saying it is, right? And it's actually offending the fuck out of us. Mm-hmm. In real life, you don't disrespect the differently abled, so why would you do that in music?
Right.
Why do we want to hold on to this? Why do we want to hold on to these old thoughts of what language could be? Like, why can't we just evolve and move forward? Is art gonna die because you can't say retarded in the way that you want to? Not even can't. That it's frowned upon, that people are offended and they let you know that they're offended because you said retarded and it's not in the meeting in which it should be?
Right.
You so bold about free speech, but you can't receive a few frowns? I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that for y'all. I don't. So going forward, I don't know. Going forward, like the medium could change. People could do the same thing. People could not. But I think it introduces a new tactic, a new strategy. That is possible. Lizzo is a multi-platinum selling, Billboard charting, pop leading artist. So if she was successful doing it, I don't see why anybody else wasn't successful doing it. Again, Eddie Murphy's apologized for Raw and Delirious. Y'all better than Eddie Murphy? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But people can say whatever the fuck they want to say. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. I wish you would do it artistically. But, you know, some of y'all just want to say it because you want to say it. You know what that remind me of? Why can't we say it?
Right.
Why?
Right.
We want to say it too. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching another episode of Who Wake and Make We Be Mo. Yeah. You can always catch the instant replay on Twitter and on YouTube. Hey, like, subscribe, do that right now. I need y'all to spam that little heart button that's in the corner of the Instagram screen. I need y'all to just throw random words into the comments. I need you to do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now.
Well, Instagram ended about like a minute ago.
Well, damn.
But yeah, we still got people on YouTube.
Okay, for sure. But like, subscribe, do all the things that you need to do to get acquainted with your boy. We're going to leave y'all with the Best of Me video by Alt and Delete 2. Thank y'all for watching another week of Wake and Bake with BeMo. We'll see y'all on Tuesday. Good morning.
This sounds terrible. We have our biggest show in 3 days, and you still don't have it down.
Paige, come on. I mean, I took like 3 weeks to learn this tambourine, and honestly, you're the one who's always late to band practice.
I think we're all just hungry. Like, yeah, just be cool, man.
I might have been a little flat.
Mercury's in retrograde, and I need to protect my peace. I'm out of here.
Wait, what does that even mean?
Wait.
Hey, one of y'all musty. What's that smell? I know you better open this garage door. God damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I won't dismiss, won't take the blame this time for your bad vibrations, for your low frequency.
You get the best of me, and you really got me out of body thinking, well, will he speak his piece or keep the peace instead of saying something I regret.
But take my energy, won't get the best of me, best of me, best of me. But take my energy, won't get the best of me, best of me, best of me.
something's in retrograde right now, so transmission is fuzzy. Nonetheless, much love, and don't forget, protect your energy.